Let's have a look at my camera, make sure that's all good. How are we looking? Yep. Oh well. That's disappointing. Alas. Oh, hello, one person watching. This is the wait screen.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. We're back.
Oh,
What did we miss?
I need to sneeze. Ah, it's not coming. It's not
Unprofessional.
coming, Jay. The sneeze isn't happening. I'm really sad.
See what I have to work with?
Ah. Oh. My sinuses. Hello, everybody.
What up? We're live. We're here. We're live. We're doing things. We've been away the last couple of weeks. We've been in France. Don't worry, we didn't die. We've been off doing French things, like eating cheese and watching people get married and growing mustaches. But mine had to be murdered for civic dignity.
Yeah. We took one look at it, and the spawn of Satan did rise.
Yeah, Chris has a mustache
permit
permit
for today's session because we're back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons,
Dragons of Dungeons.
where Satanists come to find out if they're bi.
That's a good line. I like that.
I'm taking that one. Hey, Helen.
Oh, Helen. We have a TV crew present for bisexual
Yeah,
Satanists.
for context. Do you want the context for that?
Nope.
Okay. Hi!
Tell me nothing.
You've got my face on a television.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah, they're streaming the from a phone to a television.
How very exciting.
Yes. Right. Brother of mine.
Yes.
Fuck we doing?
We are going to trap some dignity.
We don't have any
Because
dignity.
we desperately need it.
We are back on our bullshit, and we are going to be making another D&D subclass. This time focusing on the newest of the D&D classes, and in my opinion, the most fucking buck wild.
It does get very, very strange up in here.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Any one of these boys is fucking mental. We're looking at an artificer.
Indeed.
Very smooth transition into the page where we do the shit.
Sexy.
I'm trying. I'm practicing. I'm learning this shit.
So proud of you.
Yeah. I know, right? But yeah, we're going to work on an artificer. Artificers are the newest Dungeons & Dragons subclass, and they only have 4 other official subclasses. The Alchemist, who drinks a lot. The Artillerist, who shoots a lot. The Battlesmith, who has a friend. A very special relationship with the machine. And the Armorer, who is fucking Iron Man.
So, just to explain my weird, sentence a minute ago, as if any of those could ever be explained, we're going to make a Trap Master Artificer, because that sounds cool as shit, and trapping dignity. That was the joke.
Yeah.
It was bad. I accept this. Moving on.
We felt there were some gaps in the Artificer that needed filled out, and we thought, what would these things who are, these classes that are really good at tinkering with stuff and making magical items, their whole thing is making magical items, which again, gets bonkers really fast.
Yeah.
What if they put down traps?
Indeed.
Indeed.
What if, in fact, they were the mole from Atlantis? So yes.
If you have not watched Disney's Atlantis, go watch Atlantis. It's like one of those often forgotten Disney movies that's just really fucking good.
It's so good.
It's like that and Treasure Planet, and there's one other that I forget.
Of the forgettable ones, you forgot it.
Yeah,
I love Oliver and Company. No one talks about Oliver and Company.
Yeah, nobody talks about Oliver and Company. Despite the fact there's a really cool dog in it voiced by Billy Joel.
I know, right? It's wild. Also, Black Cauldron. But Black Cauldron, I understand if some people don't like it, but it is kind of great. Even if it takes a series of beloved Welsh children's novels and completely butt-fucks them.
In a traumatizing way.
In a deeply traumatizing way. Yeah, and that is what the children need. Yes, the songs
are great.
From Oliver and Company are great.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the Artificer.
Yes.
This thing of artifice.
Yes.
Masters of invention, artificers use ingenuity and magic to unlock extraordinary capabilities and objects. They're fucking magic scientists.
Yes, they are magic scientists.
If you've ever wanted to play as that crazy guy with the wild hair and this foot-wide mustache and no eyebrows, I've just realised that's Dr. Robotic. Just realised I'm describing it. Dr. Robotic is an artificer, like plain and simple. Yeah, like their main strength is making shit, so let's talk about making stuff. Now, first things first, let's do the easy stuff. Basically, all of the Artificer's subclasses that I can see gain a tool proficiency at 3rd level. Like, the Alchemist gets Alchemist supplies, the Armorer gets Smith's tools and heavy armor, the Battlesmith gets Smith's tools, and the Artillerist gets Woodcarver's tools. So what kind of tools do you think would be appropriate for a trapper?
This is a very good point. And actually, I don't actually have a list of what all of the different types of tools are. I do. Do you have it to hand? Because I have a document that has all of them and explains them, and it's really, really good.
I don't have the one that explains them. I mean, I've got them. They're in a book down there. Alchemist supplies, brewer's supplies, calligrapher's supplies, carpenter's tools, cartographer's tools, cobbler's tools, cook's utensils, glassblower's tools, jeweler's tools, leatherworker's tools, mason's tools, painter's supplies, potter's tools, smith's tools, tinker's tools, weaver's tools, woodcarver's tools.
Tinker's tools is a maybe.
Tinker's tools is a maybe. Honestly, I'm just trying to think. Are we gonna be like? Do we want to kind of push the flavor into like carving of runes or like building? No, let's do building of traps. Because I'm thinking you could probably do like calligraphers or painters supplies for like inscribing of runes or shit. But now let's make a bear trap.
Yeah.
Let's make a fucking magic bear trap.
Absolutely, positively.
Mm-hmm.
What else are we here for?
So, I'm gonna go with Tinker's tools.
I've just opened a document that I've had for ages and have never actually read, and I'm like, damn. Turns out I have a really in-depth, like 15-page PDF, about very specifically alchemy, herbalism, and poisons.
Neat.
And it's great, and I am absolutely gutted that given I have a character with a poisoner's kit that I have used judiciously, that I have never fucking opened this document before.
Huh.
Oh man, it's like when you I feel like it's that thing like when you like go into like your parents' attic or something and you're like, oh, we had this for 30 years, we didn't think anyone would need it, and you're like, if I had had this yesterday, my life would have been saved.
Yeah. But I've got the section in Xanathar's guides that explains all the stuff about tools and skills, so. Xanathar. What? You've got a confused look on your face.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember what. Because I had a document and it explained like all of the kits, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember what it was called.
For like the Dungeoneer's kit and stuff.
Yeah, like all of them.
Oh, that's basically they're basically all just like bags with equipment in them.
Yeah, no, but not like the bags that have equipment in them, because they obviously have lists of the equipment within them.
Yeah.
No, I mean things like herbalism kit, poisoner's kit, all of these, like all of the different kits, tinker's tools, thieves' tools, all of them explained.
Well, I'll read out the page on Tinker's Tools then.
Yeah, you do your thing.
Tinker's Tools. Now, a set of Tinker's Tools is designed to enable you to repair many mundane objects. Though you can't manufacture much with Tinker's Tools, you could mend torn clothes, sharpen a worn sword, and patch a tattered suit of chainmail. Components. Tinker's Tools include a variety of hand tools, thread, needles, and a whetstone, scraps of cloth and leather, and a small pot of glue.
Exciting.
Gives you some good stuff with history and investigation, and you can restore 10 hit points to a damaged object for each hour of work.
That's alright.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's got the DCs for what you can do with them. Like, genuinely, if you are a dungeon master watching this and you want to like get into the nitty gritty and just give your players something to work with outside of combat with like their extra proficiencies, like if you've got some good role players, read this section on Xanathar's Guide about the tool proficiencies, because honestly, some of the best fun I have had in D&D and like downtime has just been dipping into the like the tool proficiencies that some of my characters had. Like, remember in our campaign with Rye, how I was like, oh, Snack's got painter supplies, and I painted a big misspelled sign on the side of your cart.
Yes,
and
you
it
did.
just became part of the flavour.
It did, absolutely.
And
but
my ranger Sally has a sketchbook because she's got because she's trying to learn how to use painter supplies. She's got a sketchbook she keeps that I've just been updating with little drawings that she's got in it. Like, I don't think anyone else has seen it, but like there's a little document I've got that just has the little drawings she has. And it's a great way to add flavor to a character. Like, what do they do with their hands, with their off time, what kind of skills they have, and you can really build into a backstory as well. So genuinely, read this. It may sound a little bit stuffy and a little bit kind of, oh god, tools and stuff, but actually, it's a good way of lending a little bit of flavor to a character, and then, as a dungeon master, rewarding a player for that flavor.
Also, there's so many times where somebody's like, "Oh, I have this tool. What does that do?"
Yeah, that too. Like, as a dungeon master, you'll sit there and go, "I don't fucking know what you do with tools. They suck. They're badly explained in the player's handbook and the dungeon master's guide.
Hideously explained in the player's handbook and the dungeon master's guide.
Just like, you have a thing. Read Xanathar's guide. Like, I know that Tasha's has got all the cool rule updates and shit, but read Xanathar's.
And then also read like Sword Coast.
And then read Skag, because it's got way more good shit in it than you'd think.
Yeah, it's mental, the shit that's in there. And then also remember that if you can't read them because they are incredibly long and incredibly boring, that is okay.
Oh yeah, it's entirely fair. I have...
Who will do it for you.
I'm a pretty prolific dungeon master. I have never read a full D&D book start to finish.
Yeah. It's so much. It's so much. And it gets so dry.
It does
get
very,
even
very
the
dry.
cool shit gets really dry. I remember I borrowed Theros off you because I really wanted to read through it and kind of into the world. And I got through most of the introductory stuff. But it took me like 3 sittings. And I was like, this is interesting and this is cool, but it's just... I desperately need to know about the anthropology of Leonins.
That's the thing.
I also want to know about it, but I don't necessarily need to.
It's not going to be any goddamn use.
Yeah.
Like, it's lots of really cool shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff you can make use of depending on what level of world you want to go into as a DM.
Absolutely.
Like, because Theros has a fantastic... The Mythic Odyssey of Theros book has a fantastic system for building gods.
Yup.
And also... a whole fucking pantheon that you can steal, reskin, rejig. It's great. And like a whole thing for like becoming servants of gods, which can be a really big thing for a lot of characters, especially if someone is playing a cleric or a paladin or a warlock or even a druid.
Yep.
Or even just a really weird sorcerer.
Or even just like if you want somebody to become like a because the idea behind it is like heroes.
Yeah.
And, this idea of like mythic Greek heroes who gained the favor of a god. So it's like you don't even need to be, a traditional class or subclass that follows.
Yeah, you could just be a fighter. You could be a fighter or a barbarian who's just like, I am the chosen of this god, and I'm gonna go and beat some ass.
Yeah, and as a DM, it gives you opportunities to reward players with new cool shit they can do, everybody loves new cool shit.
It's a good way of making your player characters feel epic. Now, speaking of really fun things, shall we? Because one of the other things that we get for all Artificer subclasses is we get some extra spells.
Bitches love extra spells.
Yeah!
Alright, so the question then is, we're looking at traps.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is, Artificers are half-casters.
They are indeed.
So, what they've got access to at different levels will vary, and they don't get anything above 5th level.
Correct.
So we're going to need to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So at 3rd level, you've only got access to 1st level spells.
This is true.
Which will make our job a fuckload easier, to be honest.
Yeah, because we've got less things to pick out.
I'm going to put in a first point for Arms of Hadar.
Well, hang on, first of all, let's have a look at this. So, because as a... optional fire, magical tinkering, obviously magical tinkering, delightful, not dependent on subclass, spellcasting, tools required, tools are your spellcasting program. First level, you learn 2 cantrips, your choice from the Artificer spell list. No, that's fine. Spellcasting ability, ritual casting.
Here's
3rd level. We're on 3rd level. Sorry, I got very, very lost there.
I think the main thing we should go with here is I don't think this subclass should be particularly offensive.
No.
But it should be really, really good at dealing debuffs.
I think that's a solid answer.
Yeah,
I think that's...
This is a sub... We are fully making a subclass here where if you pick it, your Dungeon Master's going to cry a little bit.
I mean, again, and I think that's the important thing.
Yeah,
because...
It's like, this is an Artificer that rocks up and goes, what up, I am here to just fuck with your monsters until they can't do shit.
Yeah.
In that vein, screw Arms of Hadar. Entangle.
I mean, that sounds much better.
Entangle is a gift, because Arms of Hadar is not the spell I thought it was.
No, Arms of the Hadar is the big hugging demon spell.
So I would argue Entangle and maybe Fairy Fire.
Here we go. Right. First, we're looking at 1st level spells.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am 110% prepared and know exactly what I am doing at all times. Let no one question it.
Oh, actually, Magnify Gravity. What does that do?
I mean, it sounds cool. That's what it does.
Well, it does a bit of damage and have speed.
Okay.
So that could be a cool one.
Maybe. All spells.
Oh, actually, you know what would be great? Well, for one thing, there is a spell simply called Snare.
Which is, obviously, sounds kind of like what we're looking at.
We kind of have to put Snare in.
That does sound like it. That's the thing we should do.
I think if we don't put Snare in, then we're cheating ourselves.
Yes.
But also, I like the idea of Sleep.
Sleep, maybe, or, I mean, again, I agree with Entangle as a good one, possibly Ensnaring Strike.
I'm more in favor of Entangle than Ensnaring Strike, because Ensnaring Strike requires you hit someone.
And
this is a character that probably shouldn't be close to the front lines.
Grease.
Grease is always good.
Yep.
We're looking at Grease and Entangle and...
how does Snare work? Because I'm not familiar with Snare.
While you cast the spell, you can use the cord or rope to create a circle with a 5-foot radius on a flat surface within your reach. When you finish casting, the cord or rope disappears to become a magical trap. It takes a minute to cast.
Okay, well, we have to do that. You're literally making...
It's literally a trap. The trap is nearly invisible and requires a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC to be found. The trap triggers when a small creature or larger moves into the area protected by the spell. The triggering creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone and be hoisted into the air until it hangs upside down 3 feet above the protected surface, where it is restrained.
Well, that is perfect.
Yeah, it's...
snare.
I've already put it in.
Excellent. So then, the second one we have to decide if it's going to be... You're thinking sleep. We're thinking possibly...
sleep or
entangle.
Like, entangle kind of works as more of a... Like, a more, like, battle-centric thing.
This is true.
And I don't think artificers naturally get entangle. Because they do get snare, but they don't get entangle.
Fair. I was wondering possibly something more like identify as like a... I don't know.
Identify is a good spell. I think they get identify naturally, so...
I probably do.
We're not really adding much. Because, yeah, artificers, bards, and wizards get identify.
Yeah.
Like, snare, the only reason we're adding snare is because it's literally what this entire class is about.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a crime not to do so.
It'd be very funny if we didn't.
Yes, it would be very funny.
Because there's not really any trapping cantrips unless you use mold earth really cleverly.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's a lot of work to sort that.
Yeah, let's do entangle as like a fun, give them a druid spell, have a fun life.
Yeah, because like here's a spell you don't normally have access to, and it's a good spell. Like entangle,
it is a good spell,
especially early levels. Entangle's really handy.
I mean, yeah.
And this is kind of moving into the same kind of area control stuff that the druid gets.
Yes, and area control is very much, the spirit of traps.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're not allowed to do this.
Yes.
Right. I think, okay, beginning at 3rd level, I think what we should do here, for the first ability, is take a leaf out of the Artillerist's book.
Okay.
Because the Artillerist's thing, for those of you who don't know, is they can create a little magical cannon. And it can be one of 3 types. So I'm thinking we maybe give them like 3 types of trap.
That's a solid option. I mean, to be fair, that's because the Battlesmith gets a similar thing where
they just get their mystery solving robot dog.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's my point. So in each instance, what you get is a thing that is adjacent that you can keep with you, a thing that you build that is good. The armor, in fact, gets the same. They get their
armor.
The only artificer that doesn't really get anything. Well, in fact,
no, the alchemist gets their potions.
Well, maybe that's what we want to do more of. Is actually maybe we want to be closer to the alchemist than we do. Because hear me out. Your trap master here doesn't have one type of trap that he just carries around in his bag and goes, here we go, here's my fully made trap that I will throw on the ground and magically it works. Most people, when you're talking about traps and snares and things that one sets up in a dungeon or one sets up in real life or whatever it is that one does, they are things that you build on the spot.
It's a bit more, I mean...
So possibly in the same way that...
Thinking a bit more spike pit than landmine or bear trap?
Yeah, and even if it was landmine or bear trap, it's like, you have to build a new one each time. No. Which is not quite...
Well, you do with a landmine.
Yeah. And with a bear trap, you may well have to do so as well. It not quite in keeping with the same kind of feeling as the steel defender, as the battle armor, as the
Eldritch Cannon.
So I think we're probably a little more in the realm of the artificer and not the fuck me word alchemist. Shit bastard, the alchemist and their experimental elixirs.
So do we want to do... Okay, so do you want to do like a table, then?
Yeah, like a table of 6 traps, or something like that.
Okay, so... Beginning at 3rd level, you, as an action, you can set down a trap. When a creature... The trap is invisible and requires an investigation check against your spell save DC in order to be seen.
Yep.
Because it'd be bloody useless if it wouldn't.
Exactly.
As soon as a creature enters its space, like the trap takes up a 5-foot square. As soon as a creature, as soon as a creature enters its space, the trap triggers. Roll on this table to determine the effect of the trap.
Yeah.
And then we can do. Because I've got a couple of ideas for upgrades for that. We can do later. Because I know the alchemist gets to choose. I think they get to choose their what elixir they do at the part.
Chemical mastery.
Resistance.
Greater
okay, if you expend a spell slot, you can choose which one.
Yeah. So that's from the.
I say we copy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. I'm like,
maybe
use your spell slots for traps.
One thing I will say, because the traps are going to be a little bit more central to this than the experimental elixirs can be. Okay. I want to maybe put in like, hey, you can set a number of traps equal to, say, do you want to do proficiency bonus or intelligence mod?
I think we should do proficiency bonus so it scales better.
Okay.
Aye. No, that's fair. Yes. You
can use an action to lay a trap. These traps are invisible and require a DC.
I apologise to the chat as I have not been paying attention. Good evening and hello, lads, people. Are any of us into 40k?
Oh, bloody hell, people have begun.
The 40k has begun.
Oh no!
The only thing that I can tell any of you about 40k is, brother.
40k is genuinely. I know very little about it, but every time I get told a piece of the lore, I'm like, this is the most bonkers shit ever.
I know a bit of how 40k came to exist.
Yeah, I know a bit
about scandals around the ending of classic Warhammer and how that got fucked up, and then a bunch of other stuff, and now people just, are like, the meta is stupid, we love nuns with guns. Oh, and a great story about how my wife prevented someone from using their favourite army because the person in question's favourite army was Space Wolves, and Vari went, so every time you play you just go yiff yiff, right? And the guy's face broke, and he has never been able to use that army again. And we know because we met him 5 years later, and he still remembers. And he still can't do it.
The Enchanted Badger brings up a good point. Alarm would potentially have been a good call for a spell.
I was thinking of Alarm. I
think Artificers get Alarm naturally, so I think we might be alright with that one.
Yes, I can double check. But I was thinking of Alarm. It did seem very much like a good idea.
You can set a number of these traps.
They do. Yes, they do.
You can set a number of these traps equal to...
Also, why is Hercules coming to D&D? Yes, that was Theros conversation.
Theros, yeah.
I am catching up on the chat at speed.
Whoop.
And in the wrong order. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with.
Set a number of traps equal to your proficiency bonus. And regain all uses on a long rest. When the trap is triggered... Oh, sorry, I haven't spelled in the trick. When a creature... It's taking too many words.
That's okay. We're both very functional right now. Peak content.
So a creature enters its area. The trap is triggered!
Very triggered right now.
Yep. Once triggered, roll on the table below to determine the effects. Right.
Yes.
How big do we want this? How many effects do we want?
So, I think too many is bad. Also, I'm not sure we can come up with more than 6.
I think we can come up with 8.
You want to try and come up with 8?
I think we could do 8.
Well, actually, to be fair, we could do 1 for every condition available.
Alright, we're a fun one. We can do a poison trap, we can do a prone trap, we can do a restraint trap. Like 8 is a paralysis trap.
Yeah. That'd be pretty sexy. Paralysis trap.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's alright. This is where I'd be like, yo, what's all the conditions again? D&D 5e, what's your conditions? Yeah, I know, and a lot of them are shite. Well, for instance, grappled.
We're not doing grappled.
No, I know, but it's shite.
We're probably also not doing charmed or frightened.
No, they most likely would not work because you need a thing to be charmed or frightened by. Blinded we can do.
We can do blinded? I think we should lump blinded and deafened together because fuck it.
I mean, the spell blindness deafness does do that.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm up for blind and deaf.
We're gonna call it a flashbang trap.
Absolutely, flashbang trap. Bang them flashes.
Wait, no, not Barry, no! Leave Wally alone. The triggering creature must pass a... What kind of saving throw?
I would assume con for most of them.
Yeah. Constitution saving... Creature must pass Constitution saving throw. Or become blinded and deafened.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1. Wait, I need to put in another column. Just for the number.
Welcome, Goth Girl.
Hello. I thought you'd be sick of us by now.
I mean, I'm shocked that anybody's not sick of us, including us.
Well, indeed.
D-indeed.
D-indeed. Oh, fuck off. Good night, everybody. I'm ending the stream now. I'm going to drive to my brother's house and fucking kill him for that one. Right.
To be fair, you could stream that.
Let's do a poison one.
Let's do a poison stream? Yes, no, let's do a poison trap.
All our streams are poison.
Oh, yes, I know. Although, to be fair, I have to say that I do think that the poisoned status effect is kind of shite.
See, the poison status effect is actually pretty good. The real problem is that so many things have fucking resistance to it.
Well, yeah. This is true.
Immediate disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay, less shit. I think the issue is that I feel like poison is poorly defined because lots of creatures do poison damage as opposed to inflict the poisoned effect.
See, the poison condition is like the most resisted condition.
Yeah.
Including charmed or frightened.
Which is a hard life.
Yeah.
So we have a flashbang for banging them flashes. We're gonna have a poison one for being poisoned.
Yep.
Do
one that just knocks you on your ass.
Yeah? You want? Yeah? Just do a trip trap.
I think the prone one should be reduces their movement to 0 and knocks them prone. Sorry, reduce their movement to 0 until the end of their turn.
Yes.
So like,
knocks them prone.
Because that's the idea of like something's charging at you, it hits this trap, it goes down.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trip trap.
Yeah.
I like saying trip trap.
Trip trap. Poisson trap. Creature must pass a Constitution again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, for a trip one, it would be dex.
No, this is the poison one.
Oh, for the poison one, con. Yeah.
Yeah, we got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Sorry. I got very excited. About the trip trap.
Or become poisoned. Trip trap.
Poissoned. Aye. That would be dex.
Yeah. Creature must pass a dexterity saving throw. Or become knocked prone and its speed is reduced to 0 until the... I'm just going to say the beginning of its next turn.
Yeah, the beginning of its next turn.
Its next turn.
Right. So that's 3.
That's 3 right there.
We need a paralyzed one.
We need a paralysis one. What's petrified?
Petrified is great.
Turn something to stone.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's the definition of petrified.
Yeah.
Which maybe we'll save for like later because.
Yeah.
Although also it's kind of great, you know, like. I mean, like, because obviously, you know, the creature has resistance to all damage while it's stone, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes half damage from literally everything. But also, you know, everything can hit it. Also, it's unaware.
Yeah. It turns into a fucking statue.
Yeah. So, like, you just absolutely trash the statue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Its weight increases by a factor of 10, and it ceases aging.
We should do one for stunned and one for paralyzed.
Aye. Because paralysis makes you incapacitated, automatically fail strength and dex saves. Attack rolls have advantage. Any creature that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attack occurs within 5 feet.
Actually, that's the exact same as stunned, except it's got the crit thing.
Yeah, I was going to say paralyzed is stunned on steroids.
Okay, here's what we can do. Let's
Okay.
do stun one.
Right.
Stun trap.
Stun trap.
Can't save again.
Yeah.
Creature must pass a Constitution.
Save.
Yeah.
See, there's not like lots of things that we can do because that's what 4 traps.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, I've got ideas. I've got ideas.
I'm sure you do, but we've also just about run out of. That's us run through pretty well all of the effects.
Must pass a Constitution saving throw.
Well, except for we need to do one for restrained.
Or become stunned. Here's the thing: if we do restrained, we've done stunned. We don't need to do restrained.
Yeah, we do.
Stunned is restrained, but better.
Yeah, but they're different.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if we've done stunned, no one will use will want the restrained trap.
Well, except remember that it's a roll.
Yeah, but we're also going to add the feature to choose. Remember?
Yeah, later. I would also like to point out that they are completely different effects. So restrained, your speed becomes 0.
Yep.
Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saving throws. Stunned, you are incapacitated, can't move, and can't speak. Automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls have advantage. So stunned.
You see how stunned is restrained, but better.
Nothing. Yeah, restrained, you can still attack people. So they are, quite removed from each other. Stunned is like restrained, but like 3 times better. Like way up the scale. It's not just like
that's
the
my
next
point.
step.
It's kind of my point.
So we should have both.
Okay. Restraint trap. Because one thing I want to do, I want to do a bounce trap.
What? You want to do a bounce trap?
Yeah.
Of course you do, you psychopath.
Creature hits this and it gets flung.
Yeah. I mean...
Restraint trap, I'm going to say strength saving throw.
Yes, exactly. And there's a different saving throw as well, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Also, and there's one.
Mm-hmm.
The stun one only lasts 1 turn. The restraint lasts until they succeed a strength save.
See, that was one thing I wanted to do. Is it like how long do we want these to last?
Right. So stunned obviously can only last 1 turn.
Okay.
Restrained lasts until they beat the strength save. The knocked prone is till they get up. That's already in there. Poisoned. I'm presuming. Well, a lot of poison is generally cured by.
I'm just gonna say the poison stays until cured.
Yeah, I was gonna say normally you need an antidote to cure poison status effect.
Should we do the same for the flashbang? Because a lot of blinding effects are actually the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna double check
blindness, deafness, and see. Blindness, deafness. For the duration. You could end blindness, deafness early with a.
Yeah, that's because it's a spell.
Yeah, that's fair.
You find if there are any creatures that inflict blindness as part of their. Actually, yeah, because to be fair, blindness is actually extraordinarily powerful.
Yeah.
Because of the number of things that require line of sight.
Yes.
And you do not have any lines of sight if you're fucking blind.
This is true. Because D&D is discriminatory.
Yep.
There, I said it! Hot take!
We know.
Where's poisons? Poison is less detrimental if it's stuck there for ages, but it's still pretty bad.
I'm going to say it can repeat the strength saving throw for restraint at the start of each of its turns.
Yeah, start of each of its turns. There we go. Differentiating things to make them good.
Yeah. Stun traps last until the start of the creature's next turn.
Yeah.
Right. Bounce trap.
Creature hits it and is thrown 10 feet in a random direction. 20 feet in a random direction? How far do you want to throw them?
15 feet in a random direction.
15. Okay, there we go. Split the difference.
Well, because I know that the Swarmkeeper Ranger can move creatures 15 feet horizontally at this level with a failed strength save. So,
sorry, what was this failed strength save?
The Swarmkeeper Ranger, if it hits a creature with an attack, you can force it to make a strength saving throw. If it fails that saving throw, they can do one of three things. One of which... the only one that requires the strength saving throw is you move it 15 feet horizontally.
Okay.
I have used this effect to great advantage. It's fucking brilliant.
I mean, yeah. Being able, again, that kind of battlefield control of things is fantastic, and it's one of the things that
I'm
the Ranger needs to be good at. Tell me the story.
Yeah.
Tell me the story.
Because we were in this cave with a Drider. We were not doing so hot. We were like looking at this thing with its 3 attacks, its scary poison, and going, if we face this thing in open combat, we're dead. The only people standing next to it were me and the Paladin. Now, I was a bit faster, so I had the movement that I might be able to get away. The Paladin didn't, and I knew the player, and I was like, if he stays, he's gonna die. So I punched him in the face. I turned around, I punched him in the face for 1 damage, and then explained, because I just hit a creature with an attack,
yep,
that I could force him to do the saving throw. And fun fact about saving throws, you can choose to fail them.
You can absolutely choose to fail them.
And he chose to fail, so I just shoved him 15 feet, and forced movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, so let him get away without getting mauled by this Drider. He was not doing on great health. And what followed was, I think, the tensest encounter I've ever had in Dungeons & Dragons, because I was just running the fuck away. Like, we were all fully just booking it out of this cave. Every action was a dash to try and avoid this. I did like a hide round behind a rock thing to try and not get murdered by this thing, but it's got like spider climb. It was terrifying. It was great. Thank you, Garrett. It was a brilliant encounter, and I still think about it pretty much like twice a day. Anyway, bounce trap. Triggering a creature. Strength save. Strength save.
I don't think they should get the option. I think bounce trap should just trigger.
In that case, I will do it less than 15 feet.
Well, I don't know. So because the thing is that they're not taking damage.
That's true. Well, not explicitly.
Yeah. I like the idea that bounce trap just bounces them just to a place. Also, it wouldn't be a strength saving throw, it would be a dex saving throw, because basically we're throwing them on a hidden trampoline.
Hidden trampoline!
Yeah, it's a secret trampoline.
Hell yeah.
And they're just getting bounced into a place.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, alright, dex save.
Because here's the thing.
15 feet.
Flinging somebody 15 feet horizontally is really powerful.
Yes, fair.
All I have to say to you is spike growth.
I mean, that is true, but also, you're not quite the same as spike growth when it comes to spike growth, because you would be jumping and landing in the middle, so you wouldn't take any damage from the spikes.
Ah, right. See, I was thinking move them just horizontally rather than bouncing them over something.
I mean, well, this is my thinking is bounce them somewhere, random direction, 15 feet. So no one controls where they're getting pushed. They're just bouncing somewhere.
We bounce through the air.
I mean, roll a
d8 to determine the direction.
Yep. And then they can take some fall damage as well. But it'll be minuscule at that point. But it's nice. It adds something that, feels a bit more.
Right, creature takes 1d6 upon landing. 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
Aye. I can't remember what the fall damage rules are.
It'd be a d6 for 10 feet.
Yeah, a d6. There we go. And now Helen gets her jump pad. Everyone is happy.
Bounce pad!
Yup! Magical gambling bounce pad. Woo! Where they'll stop, nobody knows! Alright, so there we go. That's a solid trap. How many traps do we have so far?
6.
6. Do you want to keep going?
Yes.
You want to bring it up to a D8?
Yeah. Because I want to make a pit.
You want to, of course. Okay, we need a pit trap.
Pit trap. Because it's a fucking pit! It's a trap! It's the classic trap. It's a pit trap,
This is true. Yep, pitfall is a classic trap.
Trigger creature.
It would again be a dex save.
See, I'm not so sure.
Oh? What do you think it would be?
I think it would just happen.
Okay.
I think
just
climbing out would require a check.
Alright.
You just fall into the pit, but climbing out requires like an athletics check.
Okay, that does mean that we're not putting spikes at the bottom of it.
No, we're not putting spikes at this. Is literally just drop them into a pit.
Yep, that's fine.
We're not doing the full Punji pit here. We're not committing war crimes.
No. Okay, so if we caught... Alright, so just happens. Straight up just happens. Ground disappears from under them. Creates a pit that is...
20 feet deep.
20 feet deep, which means they take 2d6 of fall damage.
I will say, just to balance this, that maybe don't give them the damage.
Alright.
But they have to pass an athletics check against your spell save DC to get out.
That works. I don't know. I think we could still get away with putting in the damage, because then they're not suffering the disadvantage or anything that you get from the being knocked prone one or the...
Well, here's the thing. If you're in a pit that's 20 feet deep, you can't see shit.
Yeah, you can only see the stuff that's adjacent to the pit. You need to get out of the pit to do anything.
No, because it's 20 feet deep. You'd only be able to see the stuff that's above the pit.
Yeah, which realistically would be mechanically speaking, would be anyone in an adjacent square to the pit.
Yeah.
Because there's people looking into the pit.
True.
Have a pulled cart nearby and drive it on the top of the pit.
Hell yeah!
Put a lid on it.
You're not getting out.
There forever.
We're just like, what's in the well? Don't ask who fell down the well. Like, Timmy fell down the well and he's fucking staying there.
Hey, Jonathan, where's the enemy? He's in the hole.
He's in the hole. See, we had to do a pit trap.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alright.
Do you want to do... So we're gonna do the damage?
Aye, damage, but
I'll limit it to 1d6 again rather than 2d6.
Aye. But then I think they don't have any of the disadvantages that come with any of the conditions.
Yeah.
They just need to spend, their whole... They need to obviously do the athletics check against spell save DC to get out. Otherwise, they're stuck in the pit, unable to see or do fucking anything. Unless it's someone directly adjacent to the pit. In which case, it still has to be a ranged attack that they do.
But that's the thing, is it does give them, like, basically gives them full cover. Unless you drop something in the pit.
Yeah.
In which case, hey, by the way, everybody, do you know how to make a bomb in D&D?
Jonathan, don't say that. You know we have friends who do.
Bonjour,
By
Flavien.
the way, if anybody ever wants to look up thermobaric warhead, that's what our friends made in our friend Rye's campaign.
Never, like, literally.
Never bring physics to a fantasy RPG setting.
Yeah, there was a quote from Mass Effect 2 that sticks in my brain to all of this, and it is just, Sir Isaac Newton is the most badass motherfucker in all of space.
That's such a good quote.
It's such a good quote. Also, it's true in RPG spaces as well. If you bring physics to a D&D fight and you know what you're doing, because, by the way, we played with an engineer. Like, I was proud of myself for the Earthquake Ballista.
The Earthquake Ballista was great.
Flavien put me to shame by creating a thermobaric warhead with just a couple of characters and their spells. Admittedly, high-level characters, but still, holy fuck.
Yeah. But then Rye was just like, no, I'm not allowing you to do this. That's ridiculous.
It's the bank. I mean, that would be a clever use of the trap.
I think that'd be a great use of the trap. You know?
What level spell is the pass wall spell?
I don't know.
I think
The
it's third.
Earthquake Ballista was great.
Yeah.
The Earthquake Ballista was great. If anybody wants to know about any of these things, they all took place on the Scottish Wookiees channel.
Yep.
Which is where
listed is.
We're going to pick that back up again at some point, but that's
Someday.
where we run my campaign.
Oh, I think pass wall's a higher level spell. Whoops.
Pass Wall! It's a 5th level spell.
Oh, so I might add a clause that says the pit fills in as soon as the creature escapes.
Yeah, I think something like that. I'll specify that it's a magical pit.
Well, yeah, because
It's not a tunnel. It's not a hole. It's not a tunnel. It's a pit.
Yeah, it's just Froyo bringing up that point of, is there a limit to where the trap's going to be placed? Because I imagine players breaking into a bank vault from the roof with the pit trap. Which, again, I like that. That's a clever use of this ability.
I mean, that's what I was thinking when I saw that. I was like, that's a genius idea. I would love that. But I'm like, no, we need to have a bottom to the pit. The pit needs to have a bottom.
It needs to have a bottom.
It
says it fills in after they escape. That means you could get one person in.
I mean, yeah, but
and you'd have to find a way out.
The pit is also like magically tunneling through.
I'm just gonna say that they have to be placed on a flat horizontal surface. No, just a horizontal surface. Like, you can't put them on walls.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't think we should allow people to have these on walls. We can have wall traps later.
Yeah.
And yes, the Scottish Wookiee does need to start streaming again. God damn it. Him having a life.
Damn it, Wooks!
People having shit to do. Jobs and nonsense. So stupid.
By the way, follow my company at Alt Games on Twitter.
Yeah, I was saying, support his day job.
Huh? Support my day job, yeah, please, for the love of Christ.
Exactly.
Right, one last type of pit, one last type of trap. Come on.
Okay. Excellent. Represent. Well, did you have any more things that you desperately wanted to include, or should we throw it open to the winds?
The only thing that's popping into my head is like full-on Roadrunner style of anvil, but we can't do that. Oh, he's here! Hello, Wookie.
Hey, Wookie! I mean, I'm of the opinion that I think we should have at least one trap that explodes, just to straight up damage.
Just landmine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, landmine.
Here's the thing, this will work really well, because one of the upgrades I want to do at later level is that instead of just affecting the 5-foot square they're on, they affect every square adjacent to that square.
Yeah, so it becomes a 9-tile square.
There's a 9-tile thing that you can trigger the trap with.
Fuck yeah.
I
think that's an excellent upgrade.
So this is going to be a dex save.
Yeah. Dex save for Big Boom! Pass the dex save, you only take half damage.
Must pass the dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 fire damage. Actually, no, let me just check. What is a What is a Dragonborn's breath attack at this level?
Oh god.
Well, it's just thinking, like, because I want to keep it in line because I don't want to make this like a.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I have no idea. Do Dragonborn breath weapons scale?
I'm just checking actually.
Because if not, then we could look at the monk, the
ascendant dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scales up with level.
Nice. That must be like the only.
As of Fizzbands, it scales up with level.
That would be why. I was gonna say that's gonna be the only racial ability that scales. Yeah, because they did it in Fizzbands.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Fizzbands Treasury of Dragons.
Yeah, but also just like no racial things scale, which is stupid. They should.
They do now slightly, because in Monsters of the Multiverse I haven't looked at all of them because I don't own the book. They redid all of the. They redid basically all of the races. Some of which I like, some of which I don't like, but they tied a lot more of the...
Is Monsters of the Multiverse part of the new D&D thing, or is that still 5e?
It's still 5e.
Okay.
It was all the sort of Spelljammer stuff.
Oh, shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't read it. Yeah, that's fine.
Because it came out while the OGL thing was happening, I was like, I ain't buying that shit. So one of the things they did that I did like was that they tied a lot of like the repeating abilities to your proficiency bonus.
Which is good.
Because that scales with your level no matter what class you are. Because a few of them have them tied to ability scores. And it's like, well, if I don't want to make a class... like, I really like this race, but I don't want to make it a class that relies on that ability score. It can be a bit meh.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I know that Genasi rely on their constitution. But also Genasi make great sorcerers.
Hard life.
Yeah.
You could always do a con sorcerer.
I think sorcerers should cast with con.
I mean, I've heard a few people say that sorcerers should cast with con because it's an underutilized ability.
Well,
in terms of being like an offensive thing, it's only really used for saving throws and your health.
I mean, admittedly, your health is really, really fucking important. Like I've seen what happens when people play with negative con. It is debilitating.
Well, you did once kill a character with negative con.
Yes, I did, and I cannot believe that his last action was to set fire to the mold that killed him, which granted everyone enough experience to level up, and the level up killed him.
Yep.
The level up killed him, and I think that's the greatest death of any D&D character ever. He leveled himself to death.
Just to clarify, this was Jonathan playing a Phoenix Soul Sorcerer who he hated.
Yeah, I was just like, I played the Sorcerer, I was like, I really don't get the hang of this. If you're playing a Sorcerer, do not play a Sorcerer from level 1. Play it from level 5.
That's when I got all the good shit.
Because then you got access to some, like, a lot more of the fun shit. Like, Sorcerers really do not get a lot at level 1, which is weird, because they're, like, one of the best level 1 dips.
Yeah.
It's mad. Honestly, like, most classes kind of really, like, you get everything that you really, like, want, all the, like, good stuff that you really, really want, by about level 5, with the exception of, like, Paladins are the only things I would argue you need at least one more level, because Aura of Protection is nuts!
I mean, yeah, Aura of Protection is nuts, but it's also not, like, essential. I think you get the solid, like, base Paladin experience by 5th level. You
get the base Paladin experience by 2nd, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because you get Smite.
Because you get your Smite.
But then you get an ASI and you get multi-attack.
Yeah, you get multi-attack, you get Smite, you get
to be able to Smite twice.
Yep. And I also, yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. This is one of the things that pisses me off about 1D&D. Like, we know that Paladins are really powerful, right?
Yes.
Smite's no longer an ability.
Okay, is Smite now just spells?
Smite, Divine Smite is now a spell, which means you can only do it once per thing.
That is sad. That is most sad.
Yeah, I just look at it like, oh! So you fucking killed Paladins then.
There's a clip of me singing Baby Shark, but with more axes.
Doesn't surprise me. We got a lot of weird clips.
I don't remember that!
The clips with Chris and all the stuff that happened in the Scottish Wiki campaign are the perfect example of my sort of philosophy when it comes to D&D, which is you win D&D when you are the first person to make the DM either say, "Oh, for fuck's sake," or just completely corpse.
I mean, that is.
I think that's how you win D&D.
And
if you can make your DM laugh so hard that their sanity drops out of their arsehole.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cease your prattling, device!
Although still, nothing will ever beat a loaf of elf.
The elf loaf, Jesus.
It's my favourite thing. Yes, it's absolutely...
Yeah, fucking go nuts, man!
Go for it.
Okay, so anyway, so, landmine. Shall we say 2d10?
2d10 would be cool. There's very little that uses d10s for damage. I'm like, fuck yeah, 2d10.
That's like... Admittedly, this is 3rd level. A Dragonborn's breath weapon doesn't become 2d10 until 5th level, but fuck it. This isn't going to scale in damage, so who cares?
Also, the breath weapon is d6s, not d10s.
No, it's d10s.
Oh, as a fizzbands?
Yep, it's d10s now.
Oh, interesting. Well, apparently then it used to be d6,
scaled... I think. It used to be like 2 or 3 d6.
Yeah, because I'm just because obviously Roll20 generally is like PHB content, and it scales in PHB.
Chromatic Dragonborn traits. Breath weapon. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of your attacks with an exhalation of magical energy in a 30-foot line that is 5 feet wide. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw, blah, blah, blah. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d10 damage of the type associated with your chromatic ancestry. That's the other thing. They said you can replace an attack with a breath weapon.
Yeah, which is definitely not PHB.
That's definitely not PHB.
That's very exciting.
It's insane.
That suddenly makes Dragonborns probably the most OP race.
I mean, it means that a Dragonborn fighter... Like, Dragonborns always made good fighters, but now Dragonborn fighters are gonna kick ass.
Yup.
Because now you get to make 2 attacks, action surge to make 2 breath weapons.
Hang on, I'm gonna go and watch the Baby Shark clip because I'm like, I don't remember this. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2d10 fire damage. He's remembered.
I don't remember this happening at all, but I'm watching it happen. It apparently happened.
Whoop.
It's delightful. It exists. Please go and watch that clip. It's from when I had shorter hair.
I didn't.
No,
Wait, no, I did. But not by much. No, you noticed.
Not by much.
Just cause I haven't cut this in more than a year now.
I mean, this is... I had a haircut in April. Because I had a haircut for our anniversary. But at that point, the last time I had it cut was before the wedding, which was the previous April. So yeah, it was a year's hair growth.
I hope you find it. Right. So that's the main ability. I'm just going to call that Trap Mastery.
Yes. Mastery of traps.
Also, just quick... Sorry, Chris, I need to quickly fulfill a contractual obligation here.
Yeah.
That's a trap! Okay, done.
Fuck off. Okay.
It had to be done!
I understand. That doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Okay. Do we want to give, like, a supplementary thing on this ability? Because some of the Artificer subclasses have, like, little supplementary things that, like,
Well, they all get a tool proficiency.
We've already got a tool proficiency. Like, the armor, it gets... You've got... Yeah, the armor and what model the armor is 2 separate abilities.
Aye.
The artillerist doesn't get one, and the battlesmith, it's just...
Proficiency
you get bonus proficiencies
weapons.
in your skill defender. Never mind then.
Proficiency with martial weapons, and when you attack with a magical weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dex for the attack and damage roll.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's amazing, and it's only battlesmiths.
It's only battlesmiths. Because only battlesmiths are really meant to be frontline fighters.
Which is mental, because the armorer is literally a walking suit of armor.
Well, let's see, the armorer, to be fair, the attacks you make with your armor, with the weapons on your armor, are intelligence based.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Each model includes a special weapon. When you attack that weapon, you can add your intelligence modifier instead of strength or dex to the attack or damage rolls.
Ah, shit, and you get Thunder Gauntlets, a defensive field, or you get a lightning launcher.
Increased movement.
This is... That's, you know that what was it? Warframe, the game that I embarrassed myself on the other day?
Yep.
This is that. This is Warframe.
Sort of, yeah.
Kinda is. Kinda heavy is.
Yeah. Right. So we don't need a bonus.
No,
we don't
I don't
like
think we need
supplementary
that. I don't
ability
think
to
we
this, to be
do.
honest.
No, I think because we've already given this like loads of uses, I think this is probably solid.
Yeah. I don't think this is a class that should have extra attack.
Okay.
Because again, I think this is a...
Yeah.
I think this is a put the thing down and leg it.
Oh, absolutely, but also...
Because only two artificer, because the armor and the battlesmith get
yeah.
extra attack.
Which again are our two frontline fighters. This is not a frontline.
This is not a frontline fighter. So what I think would be cool
Mm-hmm.
is giving you the ability to dash as a bonus action.
I mean, sure, but why?
Well, think about it. You run in, you put the trap down, dash as a bonus action, run away.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout. I'm just looking at what everybody else gets. So, in terms of the other two...
Yeah, because the Alchemist gets, I think... Yeah, the Alchemist gets
a great fucking
an ability that's absolutely fucking bananas.
Yep. Whenever you cast a spell using alchemist supplies, you get a bonus to one roll of the spell.
So
that
if the
roll
spell
must
deals
restore hit.
yeah,
Yeah,
acid,
you do-
fire, necrotic, or poison damage, or if it restores health, you get to add your intelligence modifier, which for some healing spells means you get to add your intelligence modifier twice.
Yep.
So, like,
it's fucking
Your
great.
basic healing spells like Healing Word and Cure Wounds.
Yep.
The only other class that has healing that good is the fucking Life Domain Cleric.
Yep. This is why artificers are bitch crazy.
Like, Alchemist Artificers are legit amazing goddamn healers and support. Like, they're the fucking best. But
Yeah,
also they get
plus-
some terrifying spells. Because they get they get fucking Milf's Acid Arrow and they get Blight and fucking Cloud Kill later.
And also, they get to make all the poisons, Jay.
And the
You
poisons
forgot
and the
about
potions.
The poisons.
And the poisons and the potions and the him and the her and the...
And the poisons is
Yeah.
whack.
And the artillerist just gets a gun.
I know.
The artillerist literally just gets to make a handgun. You get to make a fucking handgun.
Yeah.
It's literally called an arcane firearm. I love it. I love it so much because it's just like, what are you? Gun. I'm gonna kill you with the power of friendship and also this gun I found.
Yep.
Which I think is my favorite screenshot in all of the internet. It's from, I think it's from Common Rider.
Okay.
Maybe Hyde. You know what? Hey, Chris.
Sorry, I just read the arcane. Have you read the arcane firearm?
Uh-huh.
Because it's gross. Is you get an extra D8
Yep.
to every spell you cast through your arcane firearm.
Yep.
Damage.
Yep.
A 5th level.
Yep.
Just for free.
Yep.
No limit on that.
Yep.
Fuck me.
Artificers are crazy. All of them.
That, I was gonna say, that, I'd take that over a fucking extra attack any day of the fucking week.
So what do you have?
Gun.
Gun. It's like, it's a gun. You fire it and they die. What did you expect?
Apparently I was expecting less gun, which was stupid, because clearly the only thing to expect was more gun.
You know what happened? You know, you have a problem? Use a gun. If that don't work, use more gun.
More gun.
God, that takes me back to fucking Meet the Engineer.
Oh, Jesus.
That's an old clip. But yeah, no, like, Artificer I think is probably the only class where I've looked at it and gone, every single subclass is just bitching.
I love all of the Artificer subclasses, in fairness. I desperately want to play an Artificer at some point, but I can never like picture the character to do it with.
See, I quite liked my Artificer concept, but I've got a couple of Artificer concepts sitting around that I quite like. One of which is would take a little work and a little balancing, because it'd be like a rogue Artificer cross class. Because it was going to be like the man in the chair.
Now I want to do an armorer artificer who is minuscule and is piloting a mech.
See,
the mech is medium sized. The mech is human sized.
Yeah.
But the creature is tiny.
See, the idea I had was that if I could get a sidekick and like be like, hey, I've made an armorer artificer. Can I put the armor on the sidekick?
I mean, there's no reason why not.
There's no reason why not. And I was like, I love the idea of having just this artificer this artificer rogue who doesn't really like go into battle himself, but he's a mastermind. He comes up with all the plans and he makes the gadgets. And like the sidekick is kind of the muscle.
It is possible that depending who your DM is,
it's a weird
if I
fucking
were your
character
DM,
concept.
I would let you do that.
Like it would require a lot of conversation between you and the DM.
Yeah, because the arcane armor does specify that you gain the following benefits while wearing this armor. You being the artificer.
See, I would argue that that you can
could be transposed.
Yeah,
it's a solid maybe. It's a
again,
solid.
That's a talk to your DM thing. Like it's a very specific character build that doesn't really have like a whole lot of utility to it. I just think it's fucking cool.
I mean, yeah, I would agree that it's fucking cool.
And that's the best reason for doing something, especially in D&D. Anyway, we need to move on. We're halfway through. So, 5th level.
5th level.
Shall we take... Because here's the thing. Rogues get their cunning action at 2nd level.
Yes, they do.
And they can dash or disengage or hide.
I just think it's cool. Yes, that was the whole point.
A little bit, yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
A little bit. There's like... I think it's cool and I want to know what it is. And I want to go somewhere where people won't judge my beard.
This is true. I'm just looking at Badger's comment about possibly having hide. It's like, do we make it like... I don't want to rip the...
I don't want to do the whole thing, so I think maybe giving you dash or disengage, because I think it's probably a little bit better to do get the fuck out of there than... Because the traps are already hidden.
Yes.
So I think maybe giving you the opportunity to dash or disengage as a bonus action.
I mean, yeah.
The thing is, like, monks already can do that with the cost of a resource, which it shouldn't be.
Yes.
I think I like the little fix for...
do it for free.
Yeah, I like the little fix for Step of the Wind where instead of it being dash or disengage, if you pay the key point, it's you dash and disengage at the same time.
That's cool.
I like that as a fix because it means that it doesn't cost a resource. It costs the resource, but it doesn't cost as much. And it doesn't mean that the rogues all point and go, ha ha.
Well, that is kind of the thing, because obviously the rogue's cunning action is like nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely.
So I think dash and disengage.
How about instead of dash and disengage, how about a get out of jail free card?
How do you mean?
So, because one of the issues that we have for our little trapper is, since they are not a frontline person, one of the reasons they would be using dash or disengage is if somebody gets too close.
Yeah.
How about, instead of basically giving them a less good cunning action, what we do is we give them a flashbang.
Oh, so like you can temporarily,
So like a bonus action, like a limited number of bonus actions, and you can use it to,
actually
basically like blind someone and run away.
Here's an idea. How about we do it as a reaction?
That would be good.
As a reaction, if a creature moves within 5 feet of you, you can force them to do, let's say, a con save. We're doing a lot of con saves here.
We are.
And if they fail, they are then blinded, and you can then move up to half your movement.
Yeah, I think and that's a powerful reaction.
Yeah, that's a really powerful reaction. Here's the thing. You've seen that reaction. Kind of. A version of that. Gringog can do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to what Gringog did.
Yeah.
It's like halfway between what Gringog does in... So, in Jonathan's campaign that he runs, we have a homebrew...
Demolitionist.
Demolitionist
He's
class.
a goblin who likes to blow shit up and steal pastries. I love him.
And he's great. He's absolutely
I
brilliant.
love him dearly. His player's in the chat at the moment.
But it's like halfway between that and the Fey Warlock ability.
Yes,
where
when you
take
get
damage,
hit, you can just fuck off.
Yeah, you can legit just nope the fuck out of there and no one will ever find you. It's my favourite ability in all of D&D. I fucking love the Fey Warlock.
Honestly,
it is like one of my absolute all-time favourite subclasses.
I still think the Feylock's coolest ability, if only just, not necessarily for its functionality, but just for its concept, is whenever something tries to charm or frighten you, you can just go, no you, no reverse card, and charm or frighten them right back.
It's you
and it's
activated
great.
my trap card.
Like, it's just so funny as an idea.
Yeah, it's
just like, you dare try and seduce me? I'm the one seducing you. And it's
so
great.
Yeah, I love the Fey Warlock. It's such a good class.
When a creature gets within 5 feet of you.
Yeah. You can use your reaction. I do think because it is so powerful, we should put a limit on it.
I mean, it's a reaction. You'll only be able to do that once per round, so reactions are pretty limited anyway.
Fair.
So if you're facing more than one guy, you'll only be able to make one dude go, "Oh my eyes!" and they're already having to pass a saving throw. So
fair.
Like
Alright.
it's a bit of a sucker
think it's
save
balanced?
effect. I think it is.
Balanced.
I think it. Well, because here's the thing: is if they
Both holding in a reverse.
there's two Feylocks and the entire rest of the party sitting there going, "Just fuck already."
I was gonna say it's to the point where they hit it's the gay chicken meme where like you get all the way to like they're like married with 3 kids, and they're like, when are they going to give in? They both just reflected the charm on each other. They're both just being like, no, you're the one charmed. No, you. Until eventually, like, they're old and grey and they're like...
You can force that creature to make a Constitution saving throw.
And if they are blinded, and if
fa-
they fail, then they are blinded and you get to run away.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you'd be running away and provoking an opportunity attack.
I think you should get to run away no matter what.
I'm just like, I don't want the running away to happen and for you to get slapped in the arse as you go.
True. Yeah, fair. On a failed save, they become blinded. They are blinded, and you can then move up to half your movement speed.
Right, okay.
Well, it's not so much... the distance is the less important part. The important part is trying to avoid the opportunity attack.
Yeah.
So, the distance doesn't really matter. And, like, this guy has just fucked his turn.
Yeah, which is the important thing. Is you basically just take one dude and be like, nope!
You'll probably get to move before him. So you'll get to be able to, like, take your movement or cast whatever spells. Or, scream to the barbarian to say, "Hey! Turn him into paste, please!"
Yeah, get him away from me!
Because remember, you are always allowed, everyone has proficiency with the blunt instrument that is the barbarian.
This is very true. This is very true. Especially if you're the paladin and then you can smite with friends.
Smite with friends! I love smiting
And my
with friends.
favourite thing with paladins is always smiting with friends.
If doubt, summon Dark Magician in attack mode. Yeah, that should be the final ability. You summon the Dark Magician.
Can you imagine? And be like, finally, I summon Dark Magician in attack mode. But this is Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care. Dark magic attack. Is it Fireball? Yes, it's Fireball.
And it's just like so you just go, "I summon the Dark Magician," and then their DM just looks you stone cold in the eyes and goes, "I have a stat block for that."
Oh man, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
It's just the fear that would come into my soul. So here's the thing. I have a whole fucking box of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard cards over there. If I started putting stat blocks on some of them, it would be over for you fools.
See, this is my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had to finally say goodbye to my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it made me very sad.
I am still trying to find something to buy mine, but they're currently just sitting on a plastic Sainsbury's back of my shelf.
I mean, I sold mine to fucking Geek Retreat in the end because I was like, I accept my fate.
Entirely fair.
I'm just looking at the other artificers and what they get at 9th level.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
First things first. No. We're missing a thing.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, what do we call
Spells!
Oh, yeah, spells!
I've just called it...
about spells!
I've just called it Bucket.
Bucket is an option.
So spells, right. What level of spell slot does... At 5th level, we've got access to 2nd level spells. So we're good. As with all these tables, you only ever... Like, the spells that are on these tables are only ever of the new level of spell you've just gotten access to.
Yeah.
We've got to look at 2nd level spells.
2nd level spells. 2 2nd level spells.
Yeah.
What do we have in 2nd level spells? That would be fun for your traps. For your traps and your fun.
I like Arcane Lock as a maybe.
Arcane Lock is fun. I have had fun with Arcane Lock as a spell. It can be done lots of fun.
You do Cordon of Arrows.
Yeah, Cordon of Arrows is a weird one in my opinion. It's like it always feels like the less good version of Conjure Barrage.
See, the point of Cordon of Arrows is, I think, because it lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I think the point of Cordon of Arrows is you set it up and go to bed.
I mean, that is fair and reasonable.
And anything that like comes in close to your camp gets stabbed. And then hopefully the screaming wakes you up.
Also, as a default, you can designate any creatures you choose and the spell ignores them, which is cool.
Yeah. So Cordon of Arrows is a possibility.
The amount of ammunition that can be affected increases by 2 for each slot above 2nd level. Also, yeah, it's like we don't increase the amount of damage, we just increase the amount of arrows.
Yeah.
I'm like Cordon of Arrows. And again, it's like, it's one of those unique ranger spells that like, yeah, I'm like, I think Cordon of Arrows would work.
Cordon of Arrows, and the other one you want, I think is maybe Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
I mean, that is a pretty great spell. Because that's the big hands, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like a big rock hand. Big rock hand, slap a lich. You choose
fair.
a 5-foot square unoccupied space on the ground that you can see within range. A medium hand made of compacted soil rises there and reaches for one creature you can see within 5 feet of it. Target must make a strength save, and a failed save takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage and is restrained. As an action, you cause the hand to crush it for another strength save and 2d6 bludgeoning damage. To break out, the restrained creature has to use its action to make a strength check against your spell save. On a success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained by the hand. As an action, you can cause the hand to reach for a different creature or to move to a different unoccupied space within range.
I offer a counter.
Okay.
Did you know that artificers do not learn find traps?
Fuck off. No. Okay, we're not putting that in the spell list. You're just gonna learn that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're So that's.
I'm not putting it in the spell list. I'm gonna include it in the bucket ability.
What? Okay. All right.
Because
sure.
I'm sorry, if you're a trapper and you can't find traps, you suck.
Well, that's kind of my point.
Yeah, so I don't want to put that in the spell list. I want to give that as like an extra spell.
But that's what you're doing at
third and 5th level. It's like these are spells that you already know. Like it's not add it to your list of things you could learn. It's like these are spells you now know.
Yeah,
and as a half caster, they're always prepared.
Yeah, true.
So I would add it in the spells. It's a 2nd level spell. They don't learn it normally.
So Cordon of Arrows and Find Traps?
I think Cordon of Arrows and Find Traps is a good combo.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I was just looking down and was like, oh yeah, no, Find Traps is the obvious one. Is there anything else in here just that would work as like good trap? Like Pass Without Trace would make maybe some decent sense.
I mean, Pass Without Trace is always good because it is the best spell in all of D&D. Fight me.
The only other thing I could think of that you would maybe add in would be Web.
I love web.
Web is a good spell. Web would be a good saving level. So you know what? Cordon of arrows and find traps. Perfect.
Yeah. There you have a trap, and you have the ability to find the trap. You good.
I was like, where did I put that? Yeah, the mine layer's worst experience. Where did I put that again?
Jay,
Mhm.
I hadn't looked at it before, but I've never seen this spell before. It's called Snillock Snowball Storm.
Oh, Snillock Snowball Swarm is great.
I'm just imagining a whole bunch of snom like floating in the air, bit like snom.
Snillock Snowball Storm.
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely.
That's amazing.
Right.
Right, 9th level abilities.
Yes.
The Alchemist gets temporary hit points as a bonus to their reagents, and they get lesser restoration for free.
Yup. So they kind of get the bitching shit, given that their restoration benefits from all the other good shit they've learned.
The armor gets
To add their infusions to their armor.
yeah, which is
Awesome.
fucking nuts. Yeah.
The artillerists get a bigger cannon that they can with new cool shit.
And also, you can blow it the fuck up.
Yeah, you can just bomb your cannon.
Yeah, it increases the damage, and you can blow it the fuck up.
Yep. Just for funsies.
And the Battlesmith gets
An
upgrade to... Okay, so it looks like kind of the main theme is upgrading your core ability.
So do we want to make this one the increasing the space that your traps cover?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to call this advanced traps.
Yeah. So let's make the traps cover more area.
Your traps now trigger whenever a creature comes within 5 feet of them.
Can we also say that would it be too much to be like it now covers a larger area and also can affect multiple people? Is that too much?
No.
Then that would be it. That would be it for 9th level.
Yeah, at 9th level, your traps now trigger whenever a creature comes within 9 feet of them and affect all creatures within.
And that would be a 5-foot radius.
Here's a fun idea. Whenever a creature comes within 5 feet of them, affect all creatures adjacent to the trap or the creature.
Oh damn! Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's do that.
Because that suddenly bulks your area control up hugely.
Yes.
Because that's one of the things that's going to be a little bit of a problem with this, is trying to make sure that you're putting your traps in effective places.
Yes.
Forcing people around.
Yep.
Like, I would argue that if you want to play this subclass, pick up the telekinetic feat if you can.
Yeah.
Because that lets you shove people like 5 feet if they're within 30 feet of you. It's a really handy feat.
So either that, or make sure you're pals with a warlock who's got either
Repelling blast.
Yeah, the pushing or the pulling blast.
Yeah.
Or, as you said before, Swarmkeeper Ranger.
Or a druid who knows gust of wind.
Yeah, so like it's just it's going to be about.
I feel like this is going to be a really good class for like comboing.
Yeah, no, this is going to be one of those subclasses where if you have other people willing to work with you in your party, it's going to be fucking terrifying.
Aye, because it's like, imagine if you've got a druid or a ranger setting up, thorns,
Spike growth.
or spike growth, and then they running through the spike growth, and then you push them, keep pushing them, and then they get knocked from the spike growth into the trap. They then get stuck, either in the spike growth or on the trap, and it's like you can just keep moving people about the place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it just gives you that real kind of opportunity for that controlling of the environment.
It really does. And on that subject, I've thought of what spells we're going to... At least one of the spells that we have to give them for a...
For 9th level?
For 9th level. One of them has to be Glyph of Warding.
That is absolutely, it has to be Glyph of Warding.
Has to be Glyph of Warding.
Fuck yeah, it does. Right, let me have a look
For
at
those of
third
you who
level
don't know,
spells.
Glyph of Warding is how you make things just go boom.
It's
Because
good.
it lets you either store another spell inside a glyph that can just go off at a later time, or you can just make the glyph explode. Which one of my players once used to flatten a bank vault. Because he spent an entire week just inscribing these glyphs on a ball that he basically managed to lug up to the entrance of the bank vault and atomized it.
I mean,
Like, answer the question of how are we going to get through this door, and it was like, what if I just made sure there wasn't a door? What if I just turned the door off?
Always an option.
It's good shit. But yeah. So, Glyph of Warding, and I think there was another one. I like the idea of Bestow Curse.
I was looking at Bestow Curse and I was thinking that's a pretty solid option as well, because I feel like Bestow Curse is one of those that, like, people don't often take. Like, it's really kind of reserved for just, like, warlocks who take just, like, the specific invocation.
Yeah, like,
but, like, it's so useful.
Like, Bestow Curse is really, like, if you pull it off, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, you can have someone take extra damage anytime you hit them. You can have someone have disadvantage on attack rolls. Or you can have someone waste their fucking turn.
Yup. It's so good.
Bestow Curse is insane.
Either that or... oh no, that's...
Like, the only problem with Bestow Curse is that it is a touch spell.
Yes.
But it really fits with the whole debilitation thing we've got going on here.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm a solid fan of Bestow Curse there.
If not, then maybe give them a little bit of their own area control and give them one of the wall spells.
That's what I'm wondering, or possibly something like Tidal Wave, or something that can, like, move people.
Yeah, it's a shame that Wall of Force is a 5th level spell.
Yeah, Wall of Sand. That's an unusual one for people.
I don't know who can cast Wall of Sand. I'm assuming that's
just wizards.
Druids can't come in sand. We need more sand druids.
We do need more. We're gonna make a sand druid.
Let's make a fucking sand druid.
Yeah. Blocks line of sight, but not movement. Blinded while in the wall space. 3 feet of movement for everyone that moves
Doesn't
there.
really corral. Like, there's things, the wall spells at this level don't really corral movement. Because I remember when I remember as Aster, I tried to stop a couple of guys running away from us with Wall of Water.
Yeah.
Fully didn't do shit.
No, it slows them down, but beyond that, yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
What was that? I was looking at this because there was one that looked really, really cool, and then I realised that actually it's for some reason it's included in my little app, but it's not allowed.
What is it?
Pulse Wave.
Oh, that's like a Dunamancy spell.
Yes.
Pulse Wave,
EGTW. I can't remember what that
Explorer's
stands
Guide
for.
to Wildemount.
Yes,
Wild
which
Mount.
is technically not official.
No, it's not, but it's endorsed. It's a Critical Role book.
Yeah, I've got it. I have it downloaded. And I haven't
Create
looked
intense
at it.
pressure, unleash it in a 30-foot cone and decide whether the pressure pulls or pushes the target object. Each creature in that cone must make a Constitution saving throw. What you could actually do is you could do the more kosher version of that. Well, it is an Unearthed Arcana spell. Psionic Blast.
Psionic Blast, an Unearthed Arcana spell.
Yep, ever officially made.
What?
Yep. Despite the fact that
blows my
Willow
tiny
uses it
mind.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Damn.
Just wasn't. Just never got made. Like the Psionic Wizard subclass. Just never happened.
To be fair, whenever they've tried psionics, it's been dodgy. Certainly in 5e. I don't know if they've managed it better.
Well, the first thing they tried was the Mystic, and that was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was a bad idea. It was bad because it was too powerful.
Yeah, it just like killed everything.
But
it
also
was
they're-
so stupid.
Also, their flavor sucked.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
It wasn't just that it was boring, it was like, hey, you know, they basically just stole everybody else's shit.
Aye.
Um,
It's a suck.
so they tried breaking that down into the Psi Warrior, the Soul Knife, and then they did like a Psionic Wizard as an Unearthed Arcana. But the only things that came out of that were a couple of Psionic spells and the Soul Knife and the Psi Warrior, which admittedly are both great. Like, the Soul Knife Rogue is genuinely really cool. And
I know
the
that you love the Soul Knife Rogue.
yeah, and the Psi Warrior Fighter is a Jedi. It's
Why
just a
would you not
Jedi.
love a Jedi?
It's just a fucking Jedi. Oh.
Right.
Anyway,
so we're going to go with Bestow Curse.
Yeah, we're going to go with Bestow Curse and Glyph of Warding.
Yeah, I think that's probably our safe options.
Yeah. Like, Bestow Curse doesn't necessarily fit the flavor so much, but it absolutely fits the style we're going for.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because
the other option, honestly, I think would possibly be Spirit Guardians, but that's just because I love that spell so much.
We're not giving them Spirit Guardians,
But
Jonathan.
Spirit Guardians!
No Spirit Guardians!
I want to summon friends that punch people!
No, our Trapper works alone! Lonely and sad!
Oh, Bear Trap.
I was tempted to give him Lehman's Tiny Hut, in fairness.
Like, Lehman's Tiny Hut was honestly something I was genuinely thinking about, because that's, like, a good protection spell.
Yeah,
but
and also, it's a tiny hut.
It also is a tiny hut.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, are you Lehman? Your tiny hut or mine? Oh, Artificers can't cast Lehman's Tiny Hut. I thought they could.
No.
Damn.
I think it's, like, strictly wizards.
Yeah, I know, it's wizards and bards.
Oh, bards get it!
Yeah, bards get it.
Of course bards get it.
Rangers should fucking get Lehman's Tiny Hut. If anyone should get Lehman's Tiny Hut, it's
should.
fucking Rangers.
Yeah.
Justice for Rangers.
Justice for Rangers.
Yeah. Again, the thing I never actually really expected until I started playing a Ranger, genuinely never expected this. How easy it is to make a Ranger into a polyglot.
Yeah.
I never expected that. And I fucking love it. Like, my
It's
Ranger...
so good. Like, there's
next
so
level.
much flavour and so much opportunity for roleplay. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to get off my Ranger high horse,
Like,
sorry.
My Ranger, next level, will speak 10 languages. 10
great.
languages! And that's
It's just
without any bullshit.
There's so much good shit just baked into Rangers about, like, how they RP, how they interact with the world. It's, I love them so much.
I still think that the upgrades in Tasha's, like with giving them better proficiencies, making them a bit more skill-based and giving them more movement stuff, that's a better thing than
I think that is brilliant.
Natural
the
Explorer
stuff
thing.
particularly, I think, is peak.
Yeah, like Natural Explorer was not great.
But it doesn't change the fact that I think that, like, what they did in the revised Ranger that they didn't do in Tasha's, which was, like, the expansion and the deepening of the preferred enemy thing. Because that was
good. Like, the revised Ranger preferred favorite enemy is good, because the thing they replaced it with in Tasha's is shit.
It's garbage.
It's Hunter's Mark, but worse.
Yeah, it's shit.
And you can't use it as well as Hunter's Mark, which is the only reason it would be any good.
Yeah, it would be to, like, double mark.
Yeah, where you could do, like, an extra D4 and an extra D6. Because that's the thing is, the thing that people don't understand, never really understand about Rangers is, they actually make really fucking good boss killers.
Yeah.
Like, they could put a lot of single damage on, like, an attack, and it's great. And Hunter's Mark, I only realized recently that Hunter's Mark is not the first attack, it's every attack.
Yeah. It's great.
So, like, my Ranger is at the moment doing 2d8 plus 2d8 plus 3d6, possibly 2d6, plus 8 damage every turn.
To a single enemy.
And, like, that hurts. That adds up real fast.
Especially since it's transferable, you don't have to keep casting it.
It's only transferable if they die, though.
Well, yeah,
which is a little annoying. It does take a bonus action to transfer, which is a little annoying. Like, you can't, if you accidentally mark the wrong priority target, it's a little annoying.
But equally well, you're like, given that the spell lasts what, like 10 minutes?
An hour, actually.
Yeah, it lasts an hour, and it's like, I feel like asking a bonus action to transfer all that damage over is really not a big ask, particularly when you hit higher levels.
My biggest problem is, like, if you accidentally mark the wrong guy, and you're like, oh no, someone else is the bigger priority, I gotta kill this dude first.
Yeah, but
that's down to, like,
kill them.
Learn your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's skill issue. Skill issue.
Right. What else have we got?
We need a 15th level ability, but first we need 13th level spells.
Which is 4th level spells.
Yes, so 4th level spells. What 4th level spells would we give a Trapper? What 4th level spells are there? Because I always forget. Oh, Confusion might be a good one.
I was looking at Confusion.
Everard's Black Tentacles.
Yeah. Also, Grasping Vine. Direct the vine to lash out a creature within 30 feet. Creature must succeed in a dex save or be pulled
No.
20 feet directly towards the vine.
Chris, no. Hallucinatory terrain.
Hallucinatory terrain.
Hallucinatory terrain.
Natural terrain, 150 foot cube. Thus open fields or a road can be made to resemble a swamp, hill, crevasse, or some other difficulty or impassable terrain. Pond can be made to seem like a grassy meadow. I mean, that's pretty great.
I mean, also, again, it's all about area control, fucking with people. It's like, that's what we're doing here.
That's a pretty solid option, I'm not gonna lie.
Hallucinatory terrain, I will argue for that one. There's not a lot of other. I mean, Grasping Vine, Everard's Black Tentacles, and Confusion.
Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum is not terrible.
Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum is not terrible, but kind of not really fitting in here. Like, Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum and then Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion. Pretty fucking good.
There's a lot of... One of the issues, I think, with 4th level is a lot of it's like summons and conjuration.
This is where all the good conjuration shit is, or at least starts to happen. And there's actually less 4th level spells than a lot of other things. So it's a weird sort of transitionary level. But there's some good shit in here, like Banishment's in here, for Christ's sake.
Fuck's sake. I hadn't spotted Banishment.
Yeah, Banishment's a 4th level spell.
That is ridiculous.
Banishment, also known as, what was it? Oh yeah, fuck you right in the slutty.
It is, in fact, fuck you right in the slutty. Hallucinatory terrain, then I'm very much here for it.
I think hallucinatory terrain is a very good call for this.
I do still think though that Grasping Vine is like a solid. I take Grasping Vine over Everard's Black Tentacles purely again for that like arena control, because it's about moving people around the place.
Yeah, because Everard's Black Tentacles is more about imprisoning them in a spot.
Yeah, well, which is also a solid option.
Whereas Grasping Vine, the thing is, Grasping Vine, I think Grasping Vine would fit better. You're right, because what you can do is like set a trap and then have the vine pull people into it.
Yeah, which
so
I think good.
That's better.
Yeah, or you can even, or again, it's that ability to like pull people away from you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Grasping Vine. You know what? Actually, this would do really well with.
What?
This would do with a really good 1-level dip into Kraken Warlock.
Yeah, it would.
Because you get that big fucking tentacle.
Tentacle!
Fucking Fathomless Warlocks. The first ability they get, which is literally 1 level, is you get a tentacle that you can use to fucking smack people around.
Yeah, and it's great. I'm just reminded of my wife wants to make a hentai warlock.
Fathomless. You want to do a Fathomless Warlock?
But like more tentacles.
If this, okay, Chris, if this lasts into next February and we start getting even close to Valentine's Day, we'll make the hentai lock.
Excellent.
We'll make the hentai subclass and then we'll weep. So
how else will the people of culture ever manage to prevail? I'm sorry.
Is that the chat?
No, that was me.
Okay. Right. So, we need to do the final ability, and then the 17th level spells, and that's it. We have the Trapper Artificer.
We do indeed.
So what are the final abilities? Alchemist gets resistance to acid and poison damage, and immunity to being poisoned, and gets free greater restoration and heal.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good.
I know,
because
right?
heal is basically like, hey, you got 70 hit points, distribute them accordingly.
Yeah.
And also ends blindness, deafness, and disease.
Yep. The armorer just gets basically whatever type of armor you got now just becomes OP shit.
Yeah, you get to supercharge your armor because you get to.
So
yeah, you basically just get to do Scorpion's get over here with the Guardian.
Yeah.
Or basically cast mini fairy fire with the Infiltrator.
Yeah. Which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Extra lightning.
The artillerist lets you have 2 cannons.
A whole second fucking cannon.
You get a whole second fucking cannon, and anyone within 10 feet of it gets half cover. Like, that's insanely good.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The battlesmith increases your extra damage and your healing, buffs your steel defender's AC,
yep,
and lets them retaliate with a reaction. Like, that's really, really fucking... Okay, so we're looking at some OP bullshit here.
We are looking at some OP bullshit here. So, the question, though, is... Do we try and do, like, an added piece of OP bullshit to the traps, or do we give a new piece of OP bullshit?
See, what I'm looking at is I think we can either do, like, a single blanket addition to the traps, like have them do an absurd amount of damage anytime they're triggered.
Right.
Or we rewrite the table and do upgraded traps.
So, I have a slight counter to this.
Okay.
Because one of the things I think that we should get is I think that we should get the ability to pick the trap that happens.
I think we should put that in the 9th level ability.
Well, no, because we've already made the 9th level ability pretty hench.
I mean, we have, but...
Like, I think, this is the thing, I think, like, the 15th level ability should be compound. I think we can potentially rewrite... I mean, actually, to be fair, if we rewrite the table and do everything as, like, an advanced version of what it was previous...
Yeah.
But then also allow you to choose which ones you do.
Yeah.
You want to do both?
Yeah, let's do both.
Alright, fuck it. That's some hench-ass shit right now. Okay, what was our first trap?
The flashbang. Give me a second.
I know exactly what we do with the flashbang.
15th level auger traps come upgraded versions of yourselves. In addition, instead of rolling, and I'm gonna up this from the alchemist thing, because the alchemist has to spend a spell slot to choose. This you're just gonna get to choose.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright. Flashbang adds thunder damage, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And since we're 15th level, I would assume it would be something along the lines of 4d6.
Yeah.
Because that's the damage increase that the Battle Master
Actually,
gets.
we should do more.
That's what it gets.
We should do more, because the Battlesmith can do that every turn. Whereas this is still, we can only do a maximum of 6 traps.
This is true.
So I think I think this should hit harder.
You want to call it a D10 instead of a D6?
Call it
We did a
4d10?
D10 for the other thing. Yeah, 4d10. 4d10.
4d10 thunder damage!
Yes!
And half as much on a success.
Yeah.
Actually, that's I'm just going to go a very quick tangent. Very, very quick tangent.
Go on.
Because I was thinking a lot about how sort of one of the problems in D&D, especially with like frontline fighters and martial classes, is that if you miss an attack, you miss and you kind of wasted stuff.
Yeah.
I think a really cool little addition, like an additional rule, would be like a graze. Like if you take a swing at something and you miss, but you're still within like 5 of their AC.
Well, that's coming back to the
roll the damage and do half of it.
Coming back to Gringog.
Yeah.
And I forgot what it's called again.
Yeah, his shrapnel bombs.
Yeah, which they are within 5 of the AC.
They still have to do saving
additional
throw.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the idea would be like if you attack and you're still within 5 of the AC of somebody, you roll your attack as normal, but you're not allowed to activate any abilities or anything. Like you wouldn't be able to put Great Weapon Master on this.
Yeah.
And then you would half it.
Which would be cool.
That would be a really cool. I think it'd be a really, really good buff to martial classes.
Yeah.
Like, because in later levels, like fighters and barbarians and monks kind of struggle to match the damage output of spellcasters.
I mean that has always been the argument.
Yeah, that's always been the problem with
and then,
martials.
Rogues sitting in the corner being little fucking assholes with their fucking sneak attack damage, keeping scale with everybody.
Yeah. Right. Poison trap.
Poison trap.
Poison damage.
Poison damage. Absolutely. Poison damage. You know what? Paralyzed for a turn.
No, because yeah.
Paralyzed for a turn and poison condition till they use an antidote.
Yeah. Paralyzed until the beginning of their next turn.
Yup. And poisoned thereafter.
Trip trap. Spikes.
Yeah! Trip trap is spikes!
Yep. We're gonna do spikes. So that's the thing is, like, here's the thing. We're at 15th level.
Yep. I have an excellent plan then for the pit trap.
Yeah, because at this level, a wizard is casting fucking 8th level spells.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to do some dumb shit.
We do.
We have full license to do crazy shit.
So spikes again, so that'd be 4d10 piercing damage.
Yeah. Actually, since it's piercing, I'm gonna increase it.
Alright.
Because piercing damage is a very common resistance. Thunder isn't.
True. This is very true.
So I'm gonna say 5d12, just up both.
Yeah, because there's not a condition going with this one.
Yeah.
But rather than going 5d12, I would say 6d10.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's actually more.
Yeah, I know. But, like, I just want it, like, I'm like, keep the dice the same, but I would add 2.
Fair.
Because, again, once they've tripped, they can just get back up again. There isn't a condition attached to it.
I know, they're like, they can get it. Well, if their movement is reduced to 0, they can't get up until their next turn.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be getting up till the next turn anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's the point. Whereas, like, deafened and blind, you're deafened and blind.
Yeah. Stun trap. I'm just gonna increase how long that lasts.
I agree. Because stunning is already such a powerful ability.
This remains for 1d4 rounds.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this remains for 1d4 rounds.
Okay.
Ending at the start of the creature's turn on the appropriate round.
Yeah.
The restraint trap.
So, the restraint trap, I think we should do it in the same way that, oh, shit, what's the ranger spell, Ensnaring Strike? Where it restrains them and does damage.
Thorns.
And it does it every turn. So it's like less damage, but it's like constant damage.
Creature also takes 2d10 piercing damage at the beginning of their turns.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
And they take the damage before they've rolled the...
Also, the damage is independent of the save.
Yeah.
It's like if you failed the save to get caught by it, you're just taking this.
Yeah. Ensnaring Strike. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Such a good spell.
Yeah. I've specified they take the damage before they repeat the saving throw.
Excellent!
Bounce trap. I'm just going to increase the damage and the distance.
Yes!
I'm
More
gonna
damage,
say-
more distance!
I'm going to say 30 feet.
Yes!
Because I like the idea of something running, using its whole movement to get to this thing, and just fucking off back to where it started.
I absolutely adore this idea.
So double the distance and quadruple the damage.
Absolutely.
46 bludgeoning damage upon landing. And they fall prone. No. Pit trap.
Pit trap. Succeeding the save to get out gives you 2 points of exhaustion.
Fuck! No! No!
No damage. You take 2 points of exhaustion to get out the damn thing. Because it's that fucking hard to get out. And that's the only additional effect to the pit. Now, 2 points of exhaustion, you have disadvantage on ability checks, which other people are already getting from being poisoned, and your speed is halved.
Okay, that's insanely powerful, because here's the thing. Because you can put down more than one trap, if you're facing one big thing, and you catch it in this pit more than once...
Yeah, but you would need to catch it 3 times, alright? Which is a lot...
No, you wouldn't, actually!
Well, to kill it, you would.
To outright kill it, you would, but if you catch it twice, its hit point maximum is already halved!
Yep.
And that's... Oh my god, and it's got disadvantage on all attacks and saving throws.
But remember...
At which point the rest of your party's gonna kill it.
Wouldn't work on anything that has a flying speed.
That's true, you couldn't use this on a dragon.
Yeah. You couldn't use it on any creature that can magically teleport or that can fly.
So
it would work on the Tarrasque.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the pit deeper. To deal with big creatures.
Okay.
I'm going to make the pit deeper.
Actually, that's a very good point, yeah.
I'm going to make it 40 feet deep.
Okay.
Oh god, upon escaping... Because also, something deals 2 points of exhaustion in any... That's the most exhaustion dealt by a single thing ever.
Yeah. There are a few things that do deal that, though.
They don't deal 2 points of exhaustion at once.
That's fair. This is a 4th level spell.
Sickening Radiance.
Sickening Radiance. Sickening Radiance 4th or 5th level.
4th.
I can't remember. Yeah, so that deals a single point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
But it does it every turn.
It does it every time, but also it's very hard to keep people... Like, you have to do a lot of effort to keep people in Sickening Radiance.
I mean, not that much, given it's a 30-foot radius sphere. People need to dash to get out of it.
And also the exhaustion goes away when the spell ends. So if you can disrupt the concentration of the caster, the exhaustion disappears.
That's fair. That's fair.
Whereas this would just be like, haha, exhaustion.
Yeah, but you need to fall in the hole first.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we don't have a saving throw for falling in the hole, do we?
No, we don't. So actually, you know what? No, we're not putting exhaustion in the hole.
I have a better idea then.
Okay.
Because it's a saving throw to get out of the hole. It's an
ability check. Yeah.
Yeah. If you fail the ability check, you take 1 point of exhaustion every time you fail the ability check.
That's even more powerful.
Yeah, but only if they can't get out the hole.
So yeah, you put out anything that doesn't have a decent strength score will just die in this hole.
Yeah, which is what happens in these holes.
See, I was gonna say the pit collapses in on you.
No, because then you just take damage from being buried, and then you end up out of the pit anyway, and it's stupid.
No, because it collapses in on you. You have to dig your way out.
But then that's no different, really, from being stuck in the pit to start with.
Well, here's the thing. No, here's the thing, though. No.
Well, you need the tunneling
What you do is you remove the athletics check.
Right.
You make the pit 40 feet deep.
Yep.
And they can only dig their way 5 feet at a time. So whatever's in there, you've just removed from the fight for 8 turns.
There's a conversation there about suffocation. And I say this because... And this is this was the first, technically the second D&D campaign I ever played in, because the first one was a rebrand. It was a Dragonlance game, so simplified rules. But one of the only times that the DM and I ever fell out, and it was because I felt like he was purposefully trying to kill us, and I did not appreciate it in the slightest.
Yeah, don't ever do that if you're a dungeon master.
He made us all jump through a portal, and he specified, did you jump through it head first or feet first? And it was depending how you jumped in, because we appeared underneath a pile of skulls without any clear understanding of which way was up. So some people nearly suffocated under the skulls.
That's not great.
Yeah, and again, it was that like tunneling out of a thing idea and not knowing which way was up and so on, and it was like, I don't like this.
See, what we could do, because I feel you're more okay being unfair to monsters than you are to being creatures. What you can do is drop them into the 40 foot pit. They take 2d6 of bludgeoning damage when they land. The pit collapses in on them. They then have to spend... They can then tunnel their way out 5 feet at a time, and they have to pass a Constitution saving throw at the start of each turn, or take a d6 of... I'm not sure what kind of damage you take when you
Suffocate?
When you suffocate,
Or-
'cause there is
or
actually
crush
rules for that.
death?
Because there's rules for
Probably.
drowning.
Yeah, it would be the same rules.
Yeah.
Again,
Because I really
prefer-
don't want to. I don't want to put exhaustion on this because it'll. Cause if you put exhaustion upon failing the check to get out, you're just gonna kill. Like that's an insta kill pit.
but only if they can't get out. And again, most of the time, given that you're level 15, given the type of monsters you're dealing with, if they have a low strength score, then they almost certainly have an ability to fly or to teleport away. Or have some other method of escape. Think of it, remember, this is level 15.
That's true. That is true.
And it's completely ineffective against anything with a fly speed. So that's my thinking. Plus they can choose to stay in the hole. And not die. And if they're smart enough, they'll just stay in the hole. And then as soon as you come near the edge, they'll, like, kill you. Because they can still shoot you if you come to the edge of the hole.
If they can shoot you.
Yeah, but, like, if they don't have range and they only have melee, then they're strong enough to get out of the hole.
Yeah, fair.
See, like, again, this is my point. Like, at the point where we're level 15, I think exhaustion is a perfectly viable thing to use. That's my argument for exhaustion, anyway.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Upon failing the check, they fail to escape the pit. They suffer 1 point of exhaustion per failed attempt.
Indeed. And if they succeed, then nothing bad happens. So
Or
it's
they
a
get out
big
with
risk
3
reward.
points of exhaustion.
Yeah, and again, they're still, because their challenge is always going to be your Artificer's spell DC, which
Yeah,
realistically is going to hit a maximum of 18.
No. Because at this level, if you've managed to get, let's say you're 15th level, you managed to get a plus. At this level, your spell DC is actually probably 20.
Okay.
Because it's your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier plus 10. Plus 8. Sorry, actually, no, you're right. Maybe 18.
Yeah. 18.
Yeah. I forgot it was plus 8, not plus 10.
Yeah, plus 8.
Yeah.
Hard life. Alright, so what's our next trap?
Final one is the landmine.
We love a landmine.
I just want to juice the damage on this and make it 10d10.
I mean, yeah.
It's a fucking landmine!
Make the landmine big landmine. And the answer, Helen, is no, the pit does not come with fall damage.
It does actually, yeah.
Does it? Are you at? Oh, I was going to leave the fall damage out. I was like,
No,
fall
because
damage.
it's a d6 normally, but it doesn't take any extra fall damage. I've just doubled it to 2d6.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it's got a little bit of fall damage.
Okay. Minuscule fall damage.
I've just
Apologies.
Landmine. It's like, it's a fucking landmine. You take 10d10 fire damage.
Yeah, fucking right. But yeah, what's a fireball at this level?
What? More than that.
How much more than that?
Well, it's 15th level. You could cast it at 8th level.
So what's an 8th level fireball come out at?
Well, let's see. It's 8d6 at 3rd level. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13d6.
Yeah, I think 10d10 is appropriate.
Yeah. Well, who? Jesus. Well, I think the better question is, like, let's look. I'm just going to look at some 8th level spells.
Yeah.
Because 8th level, you have things like Abidalzim's Horrid Wilting, Incendiary Cloud, and Tsunami.
Or Thunder /4/ a mix of all three. That would be cool. So make it like...
Give us some force damage, yeah. 10d10 fire damage.
Well, no, because you could like make it like do
5d10
it like
fire,
3 of
5d10
each.
force.
I something like 5 to 10 fire, 5 to 10 force, because then it breaks it up for the resistances as well, which makes it more effective. What are our 8th level spells? Power word stun.
Yeah.
Reality break.
Fucking earthquake, dude.
Sunburst. 12d6 radiant damage and blinded for a minute.
Like you get earthquake, which you can legit use to topple a small city.
Fair. Glibness. You can be glib.
Dude, don't knock glibness.
Replace any number you roll with a 15.
Glibness is the
Holy
most...
fuck.
Yeah, glibness is the most OP spell, because here's the thing. That's not just flat charisma checks.
No.
That's any check involving charisma.
Additionally, no matter what you say, magic that would determine if you are telling the truth indicates that you're being truthful.
Because here's the thing, Chris. Imagine this. You have a bard. They're at 8th level.
Yep.
They've got expertise in persuasion.
They do.
Which means that their persuasion is probably a plus 15.
Yep.
You cannot roll less than a 30.
Yep.
On a persuasion check with glibness.
That's pretty sexy.
It's insane. You ever wanted to take over a crib? You ever wanted to take over a kingdom? Man, fuck your meteor swarm. Glibness.
Now, you want to know what's... You want to be reminded what the fucking OP fucking 8th level spell is?
Maddening Darkness?
Feeble Mind.
Feeble Mind. Oh god. Feeble Mind is, I think, the most terrifying D&D spell because it literally makes you into a vegetable.
Yup, for a month!
A month. You fail one saving throw and you're a vegetable for a month. Like, your intelligence and your charisma saving scores become 1. For context, I think a dog has a 4 in intelligence.
Yeah, like a 1 in intelligence is enough to manage breathing, and that's it. It's amoeba levels of intelligence.
And it specifically says you can't
sustain life.
Specifically says you can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way.
So yeah.
But it's nasty.
That is nasty.
Like, the only things that can stop it are Greater Restoration, Heal, or goddamn motherfucking Wish.
Yup.
And man, like, Feeble Mind is a horrible way to horrible way to go. And I threw it at one of my players once.
Of course you did.
Yeah. You break into a Grand Wizard's office, steal his shit, make up a really crappy excuse as to why you're there, and then dive out the window. He's gonna throw something at your back.
Yeah, I remember you doing that, actually.
Yep.
I'd forgotten who you'd done it to, but I remember you doing it.
It's a good thing. I decided to be kind and threw it at the Artificer.
Well, yeah.
So proficiency in intelligence saves.
Oh my goodness.
And he rolled pretty high.
He did, yeah. So it was okay.
Right, the last thing we need to do. We need 2 5th level spells for this.
We do need 2 5th. I've just put my fucking spell book away, Jay.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I am an idiot.
Okay, I'm going to say Bigby's Hand.
I don't know who Bigby is, and I don't know why he wants a hand.
You basically just summon a giant shimmering force hand that you can use to slap people around.
That just sounds like you want to just smack some bitches.
Well, it's really good for moving enemies around.
Fair.
Like, you can shove people. Like, one of the things is Forceful Hand. Creature attempts to push a creature within 5 feet of it in a direction you choose. Make a check with the hand's strength, which is a +8, by the way.
Okay.
Target is medium smaller, you have advantage on this check. If you succeed, the hand pushes the target up to 5 feet, plus a number of feet equal to 5 times your spellcasting ability modifier. Which, again, at this level, 17th level, it's probably a +5. That's a 30-foot push.
This is fair.
The hand moves with the target to remain within 5 feet of it. It's like, you can really shove motherfuckers around with that.
Absolutely. No, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm looking through, and I'm seeing a couple of possible thoughts.
Mislead, maybe?
I was wondering about possibly Far Step.
Far Step, just for lots of teleportation.
Yeah, like that, again, bouncing around the...
as much as I love Dimension Door, and Dimension Door is great, I think Far Step is the best teleportation spell.
Fair.
Because it's concentration and it just gives you a teleport of 60 feet every bonus action.
Yep, which is great.
For a minute, and that's so good.
I was also thinking possibly Animate Object might be a good Artificer one. I don't know if they get it already.
I'll be amazed if they don't.
That. Let's
I'm not amazed. Oh, right. Animate Object.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They do.
No, Bard, Sorcerers, and Wizards.
Animate Object. I'm looking at it. Artificer, Bard, Sorcerer, Wizard.
Oh, shit. My app is not up to date. I apologize.
So, double check Tasha's if you want.
No, I believe you.
See if just in case the website's wrong. But yeah, just... Animate Object is actually a genuinely fucking terrifying spell.
I mean, yeah, because you just animate all of the spoons and then have them attack
you can
your
animate all of the spoons and they will just murder everyone.
Which is great.
You never want to animate something huge with it.
No.
Because you can... Let me check.
Alright, lots of little things. I have another possibility that I think actually would be very good.
What?
Mislead.
I was looking at Mislead.
Become invisible at the same time that an illusory double of you appears where you are standing. The double lasts for the duration, but the invisibility ends if you attack or cast a spell. Use your action to move your illusory double up to twice your speed and make it gesture, speak, and behave however you want. Which I'm like, just have them lead your enemies into traps.
I mean, that sounds pretty good to me.
It does feel like the thing.
Yes, I'm aware that the music is a little lullaby-esque. It's I have a large library of music that I really need to go through. This is kind of the only chill one I have at the moment. Sorry, I just got DM'd by Helen.
I was going to say, is that in the chat? Because I'm like, I cannot see this.
No, that's Helen DMing me going, hey, this stream's great, but just a little bit about the background music. It's very, very lullaby-esque, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Should we do Mislead? Because Mislead sounds really good for, like, just fucking people around.
I think so.
Okay.
And then go with, whatchamacallit? The one that you put down.
Bigby's hand?
Bigby's hand. Yeah, we'll go Bigby's hand.
Yeah, because there's not really anything else that's, like, trap.
Flashbacks, the animated torches killing those horses. Was I present for this one?
No, you weren't there for that. That was the Dullahan race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brutal. It was really
one
brutal.
Session and suddenly we're racing headless horse people. Very
Bigby's hand.
Bigby's hand.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. That is the Trapper Artificer. Fear them.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I think it's also like the first serious build we've done.
Yeah, I mean, like this. Yeah, this feels
Like we did the profanity bard. We did the passive aggressive barbarian.
We did the love
cleric, which was again like serious. It had like power to it, but also it was a lot of us taking the piss.
I mean, I think all of these have had elements of both, but yeah, no, this feels like the most like. No, this is a real class for real gamers.
This is a real class. You could play this.
I mean, all of them could be played, and at some point we will run a one-shot where people playtest these.
Yeah, we're going to do that sometime. Just do a great big playtest. We actually have plans in the works for a lot of stuff at the moment.
We do.
We'll find out.
You wouldn't believe that we're that organised, but we're trying.
We've got a Google Doc.
We do have a whole Google Doc.
It's a pit trap. Look, you're making a trapper. You're gonna make a pit trap, you know?
Yeah. But it's gonna be a bitchin' meme.
See, I do like the idea of you make the pit trap, and then like the fighter or the monk just jumps in after them. And it's like, all right, 1-on-1, let's go.
It does feel like the kind of thing
that would happen. Because then the monk can just run up the wall and get out.
Yeah, monk would be like, surfaces? What are these?
It's like, monk is like, what is this you bitches call gravity?
To be fair, technically, the ranger would be able to do that as well because they get climb speed.
They do get climb speed.
See, this is why exhaustion is okay, because it only applies in minimal circumstances.
Anything with spider climb will get out. That's one of the reasons why I also wanted to collapse it on their head.
I mean, that is also fair, but I'm not a fan.
Mine collapse! Mine collapse! Yeah, so mine collapse too.
I don't like burying people.
Anywho.
Unless we have a spell for burying people.
It's called Mold Earth. It's a cantrip. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody. We are back. We are planning to do, once again, weekly streams every Monday. We just had to go because we were both in France doing French things and eating lots and lots of lovely, lovely bread. The French have the best bread. Don't at me.
Italy waves their focaccia in rage.
You could wipe your arse with your focaccia.
Let's
yes,
not tell the
fighting
Italians
words,
you
but
said
it's
that.
Italy. They'll change sides halfway through. Anywho, you can follow me on Twitter at JonathanHoney4. You can follow my company, Ald Alliance Games, at Ald_Games. Hopefully, we're going to be getting somebody in to manage the social media, so things will look a bit better and a little less dead over there. Because managing social media is a full-time fucking job.
It is.
And I can't fucking do it.
Sorry. I remember the pain.
Yes. You can also support me on Patreon at Jonathan David Honey. You can also find my reviews, my writing, and all of these homebrews on my website, jonathandavidhoney.com. It's all linked in the stream description. It's all that. Please share them about everywhere because honestly, I write the reviews particularly for fun. I write the stories because I love story writing, but also mostly just, I want people to read them. Just people read them. I don't make any money from it, but please, just fucking read my stuff. A lot of it's fun. Some of the reviews are funny, a little bit insightful. I have a degree in game design. I value my opinion. And you can follow Chris on Instagram at ChrisHoneyActor. Anything else you want to plug?
No, I'm not doing anything interesting right now. I'm hopefully going to be doing interesting things next year, but just now, nah.
Woo! Thank you very much for joining us, everybody, and yeah, bye-bye.
Bye!
See y'all later.
Bye!